In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how the ATS actually works when it's scanning your resume. And I'm also going to be showing you a few resume templates and actually talking to you about how you can go ahead and get access to them. But first things first, let's go ahead and actually talk about the resume template. Before I go ahead and do that, please, with sugar on top, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so already. Helps us with the algorithm and it lets us continue to go ahead and produce these videos for you. 80% of you, I know I'm beating the dead horse with the same record over and over again. 80% of you are watching our YouTube channel and our videos every single week, week after week, but for whatever reason, you're not hitting the subscribe button. I don't know how you're getting notified that we just dropped a new video, but please go ahead and do so. It's really going to help us out. Okay, so I'm going to show you how the scanner actually works while we set up the resume the way that we set it up, and then I'm also going to give you a reference template for an actual Google Product Manager resume, a Finance Product Manager resume, and then also an Uber Eats Product Manager resume. And these are actual resumes of people that have landed product manager jobs, and they are cool enough to actually basically reshare their resume template. A few of these people are actually former product gym members. There's one person here that was not a product gym member, but did, is a friend's friend, and they actually got a chance to get, they did use a resume template for us that ended up helping them get a Google AI product manager job. People are like, well, are these real people? It's like, are you sharing their personal information? Look at the address, bro. 888 57th Street. If you're living on 57th in New York, you don't need a product manager job. I can assure you that much. So, and yes, for privacy purposes, we do have to go out there to screen out their contact information, but they were cool enough to let us use their resume. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and answer a question for you. Well, Rich, what exactly, does the ATS, is it actually real? Yes, it's very real. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. If you look me up on LinkedIn, it's no secret that I used to be a tech recruiter based in California, where I used to help companies screen resumes and book interviews. And I can tell you that resumes have to be screened with AI right now. Whether or not a company decides that they want to purchase a tool to help their recruiters do their jobs more efficiently is a completely different discussion. So when a recruiter comes out and says, I've never used an ATS before, okay, your company has chosen to not invest in those resources because they don't care about you. And it's like, they're not lying. They haven't used it before, but to say that it doesn't exist, that'd be pretty far from the truth. It actually does exist. And I'll go ahead and prove it to you. Right now, I just recently did a video where I shared, and yeah, definitely get access to, my newsletter and my other resources, because I'm going to be sharing companies that are hiring. But if you take a look at it, people that are dropping a posting right now, excuse me, people that are dropping a posting right now on LinkedIn saying like, I'm hiring for associate product manager, within a few hours, they're getting 71 comments. They're getting 17 comments here, 2 comments here, 19 comments here. 2 comments. Okay, I guess nobody cares about solar panels. They're getting like 4 comments here. I recently did a video of 17 companies that are hiring for product managers right now. They're posting up on LinkedIn that they are looking for somebody on their team, and they're posting their direct contact information. And I can tell you, they're absolutely hiring right now. Every single time they make a post like that, they get swarmed so hard with at least 100 DMs. I know, because sometimes we also post up our own hiring referrals. They get a ton of comments. There is no way anybody has the time, energy, or the bandwidth to go ahead and do that manually. So how does the applicant tracking system work? The applicant tracking system works by tagging certain keywords that should be on your resume. If you don't know what those keywords are, you can access them on the link in the description, but I basically have a list right here. I'm constantly adding over to it, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But it's seeing, based upon these keywords, how relevant you are before it decides to go ahead and screen you out. Now, the second assumption that people are making, that they should not be making, that's a very big mistake, is that the applicant tracking system operates as a very well a very efficient product or tool, a software tool or application. It is not. The applicant tracking system is extremely flawed. It makes a lot of mistakes. So this is why, our resumes are getting our members here a lot of product manager jobs, even in this market. Yes, I'm going to go out there and low-key flex. We're dropping about 6 testimonials every single week of people landing jobs that are in our program. One of the reasons why they're able to do so is, number one, they're applying very aggressively. Number two, they have exceptional product management interview training. But on top of all of that, their resumes and LinkedIn, it's actually working for them. And I'll tell you, they have to use these keywords. Applicant tracking systems don't work as well as you want them to because there's no real money to be made in building an applicant tracking system, because recruiters at a company, they don't make the company money. They don't add any revenue into a company. If anything, there are costs that no company really likes to take on. The only value that recruiters actually add to a company is actually helping companies save time. So with that said, companies, they invest in their sales and marketing team. Those are the first teams that get the big that gets budget allocated to them, because they're actually helping drive cash into the company. The second teams that actually get resources actually software engineering product teams. Well, they're the ones building stuff up for you guys to sell. Recruiting ranks pretty low. I think they get priority right after the accountants, because the accountants are actually usually pretty important. But recruiters ranked very, very low. So even when companies buy applicant tracking systems, they don't usually buy the best ones. And even if they get access to the best tools, they usually opt in for the cheapest plan, which also doesn't help. Most recruiters, they're running their recruiting off of a very basic plan or off of Gmail. So if you don't have these keywords, you're not going to go ahead and actually get the screening. And this also brings us to a second question, which is very important. Is it 2 pages? If your 1-pager was getting you interviews, I think the last thing you'd want to do is watch a YouTube video with me on it telling you how to write a resume. It's not working. This is a 2-page resume. This is a 2-page resume. I added in some context in terms of how they can rearrange your bullets, which is why it's 3 pages down here. But that's a 2-page resume. This is a 2-page resume. This is a 2-page resume. If you don't have 2 pages on your resume, it's not going to make it through the machine. And if it doesn't make it through the machine, it's not going to make it to the recruiter. If it's not going to make it to the recruiter, it's not going to get to the hiring team. Now, I do hear from a lot of product managers that say, well, I got roasted for having a 2-page resume. Okay, maybe you did, but resume is not simply just about page count. That's one of the elements that make up a good or a bad resume. It's what's on that resume. I don't think people mind watching a 2-hour movie or a 3-hour movie. Where people get pissed off is you can go ahead and have a movie that could have been done in 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I'm staying there for another hour and a half. So it's not so much about the length of your resume. It's about the content that's on your resume. Every line on your resume should be quality. And it should be a selling point for why you should have a job with that company. If you're just filling it with crap, it doesn't do you any justice. Likewise, I've also seen people that want to tag everything underneath the clouds, and they make their font size 7, and it's all on one page, and it's basically has no margins around here. We call it in recruiting the pizza without the crust. And where the name is all the way up on top here. All the skills and everything, it's it's basically all on the edges. If you think that 1-page resume is going to be some head of product out there is going to be finally somebody that was smart enough to put this on a size 7 font so it's on one page so I can read it, you're dramatically mistaken. And I'm saying this with love because I don't want you to go out there and be on the job. Every single day you're on the job hunt right now does not serve you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we've had 8 quarters of tech layoffs. This has not happened, not even since the 2008 recession. And we're going into the 9th quarter and companies are still teasing about more layoffs to come. when you're on the hiring side, this is what you're thinking. You're at an unlimited Black Friday sale that's been going on for more than 8 quarters. Every day that we decide to wait, we can go ahead and possibly get somebody for cheaper. So you don't want to be on this job hunt any longer, which is why I'm telling you, reach out, steal my resources. The link is in the description, and reach out to me on LinkedIn if you need help. Because every week that you are prolonging your job hunt, you're only competing against another batch of product managers that were laid off, except this other batch is way more prepared than you are in this interview because they've already seen a lot of their friends in the tech game that's already not been working for 4, 5, 6 months. And they may be coming in here saying, I know I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm going to take a pay cut. That's how they're going to take their job off of you, right? They're coming in fresher. So you don't, because they don't want to stay on the job hunt longer than they have to be. Maybe they're more urgent in paying their bills. Maybe they don't want to be on the job hunt longer because it's going to make them look bad. Like, why were you not working for that long? If you were in demand, you should have been able to scoop something up like that. Because if you have access to LinkedIn, you're clearly seeing people take jobs. Because, those like, I just landed, I want to go ahead and share that I just started my product manager position. Those get prioritized at the very top. You're still seeing people take jobs out there. So with that said, the applicant tracking system it prioritizes, number one, what are the words that you need to have on that resume from the top down? You don't have a list of those words, get it from here. And then the other thing here is those resume descriptions, you can get it from here. Link is in the resource. The link to the resources is in the description. But what are the words that you're using? Number 2, how many times are you recycling the right words? Number 3, where are those words located? If you have those 3 things, you should be able to convert interviews. Along with that is it has to actually tell a story. So a lot of people I also see, like, they take a screenshot and they copy this thing word for word. And they're like, well, am I not getting interviews? Like, well, like, but was it telling a story for you? That's also another very important question. But if you don't make it past the machine, you won't get to the human being. The stakeholder that's got the least amount of skin in the game is actually the ATS bot. They don't care about you. The next person that cares less about you is a recruiter. You need to go ahead and get past these people as soon as possible so you can actually talk to like a director or head of product that actually understands product management. That's actually going to be people that you're going to be working with so you can finally land this job. My name is Rich. I'm one of the co-founders here at Product Gym. If you found any value in today's video, please go ahead and subscribe. Definitely reach out to me on LinkedIn if you cannot get access to the resources. The resources to everything that I've referenced today is actually in the description. Go ahead and steal them. I'm looking forward to speaking with you very, very soon. Talk to you later.